Welcome to the UQ School of Architecture Architectural Technology courses. In this series we will be talking about the regulation of energy use in buildings to reduce greenhouse gases with reference to the Australian National Construction Code, Section J. In very broad terms, Section J in the Australian National Construction Code is a regulatory instrument to reduce Australia's carbon footprint and reduce the impact of the increase in greenhouse gases to the planet. For buildings, the primary way to reduce energy use and operation is to make them perform better. This incorporates the efficiency of the equipment used to run the building, such as light and air conditioning, and also the integrity of the building envelope to contain heat or cooling energy and not waste it unnecessarily to the surrounding environment. This thermal image of a building facade shows how heat energy is being lost through the windows, but more importantly, the energy being lost through the window frames and the parts of the internal fit-out that attach to the external skin. These areas show up as white, which signifies the areas of greatest heat loss. Section J in the Australian National Construction Code is a minimum legislated performance standard for all new buildings and buildings that are significantly remodelled. Section J should not be confused with other building energy rating tools. Most branded rating tools, such as Green Star ratings in Australia, are commercial environmental auditing companies that establish high environmental performance standards for new buildings in different classifications. These commercial auditing standards are not legislated requirements. Rather, they are a market mechanism that developers and building owners use to benchmark their building against other buildings in the market. The performance rating is used as a valuable marketing strategy that helps increase rental yield and establishes sustainability principles into the future, in a way to future-proof buildings from increasingly stringent regulatory standards. Green rating tools vary across the globe, with different rating tools dominant in certain markets. Green Star, for example, is dominant in Australia and other Australasian markets, whereas the LEED standard is most common in North and South America, and BREEAM, originating in the UK, tending to dominate European developments. Japan, China and Singapore, to name a few, also have their own rating tools, which are run through government or quasi-government agencies. The Australian National Construction Code is broken into 3 volumes, with volumes 1 and 2 covering most building types in Australia. Volume 1 covers buildings of Class 2 to 9, which are most building types other than single dwellings and non-habitable buildings. Volume 1 is broken into 10 sections, each covering a different aspect of building construction and design. Section I is a redundant section since 2013, but has been kept in the document for the time being to preserve the cross-referencing of the entire document. Section J is the section that covers energy efficiency and is one of the newer sections of the National Construction Code, or the BCA as it used to be called. Central to how the entire National Construction Code works is the classification of buildings. The listing of building classifications is outlined in Section A, Volume 1, the General Provisions. Building classification drives almost all aspects of the Construction Code, from determining access and egress provisions to occupancy densities and to many aspects of Section J. The introduction of Section J over the past 13 years has seen an ever-increasing set of regulations for energy efficiency. Stricter standards have been rolled out in 2006 and 2010 and will continue with amendments rolled out into the future. Section J breaks down the various aspects of a building's construction and focuses on these aspects to improve their energy efficiency. These aspects include the building envelope, that includes the roof, floors and walls. Facades tend to fall across multiple categories, as glazed curtain walls in one capacity need to perform like walls, despite the fact they are predominantly glass. Glazing and the control of sunlight on the facade is a key aspect of the interrelated aspects of the building envelope and is described in detail in Part J2. Section J also includes a section, Part J3, that discusses the integrity of the envelope to retain heat or cooling energy so as not to lose it through poorly aligned, detailed, and sealed components. The efficiency of mechanical systems is covered in Part J5. This includes the efficiency of mechanical components so that they require less energy to run, as well as minimizing losses in the distribution systems and places where systems penetrate the external envelope. The efficiency of internal lighting systems is dealt with in Part J6. Specifically, it calculates the amount of lighting energy used in order to meet minimum lighting levels prescribed in Australian standards. The energy used to produce hot water and the efficiency of distribution systems is covered in Part J7. This also includes the efficiency measures to improve the performance of swimming pools. The final part of Section J is Section J8 that covers the environmental control systems. This is an important aspect of the building and use that allows building owners, managers and users to monitor and regulate the design systems to optimize performance. That concludes this first video that provides a general overview of the Australian National Construction Code and Section J. Be sure to check in with other videos in this series.